Here we go. Ready? Oh, who's better than me? Yeah. What's up, guys? Well, a little frustrated this morning. You know, you saw me prep the lid, cut the sides of the case. I was doing my center lines and I was setting the lid to get ready for the hinges, right? And I ordered some hinges, and it's really, really important to make sure when you order your hinges or whatever, is to make sure that it's the right stuff. I thought it was the right stuff because of the book I was looking at didn't show. What my problem is that I ordered the hinges and they came. You know, I ordered a priority mail because I wanted to get on this thing, so it was like an extra 20 bucks or whatever for the priority. And the hinges came and it had a big, giant KP right on the face of the hinge. And I don't want some other company's markings on my piece of furniture, and I was a little kind of pissed off because the markings weren't in the book, you know what I'm saying to you? So when I ordered the hinges, I didn't realize that there would be a marking, and nobody told me about the marking. And to be honest with you, I've been dealing with this company for years now, and I've never had a marking come across on a pair of hinges, so I wasn't expecting it, you know? So I had to call back and change my hinges and get a different hinge, and now, you know, I'm not going to be able to put this lid on for a couple more days. And it kind of gets to me because whenever I start to build momentum, I just want to finish this little project, you know, this part of it. I have my mind set on putting this lid on, and it's just not going to happen. So whatever. So in the meantime, Steve came down here yesterday and checked this out. I decided we're just going to have to work on the doors, all right? Now, this is where I got the inspiration from the doors, okay? This is still that piece. Now, these aren't like your ordinary doors. Look at these things. They have the gilded carved inside molding on the scalloped edges. You know, it's got a pilaster on the outside. See that pilaster right there? And it's got a kick-ass capital on the top. You see it? Right there? I mean, it's hard enough to do this stuff when you're concentrating on it every day, guys. But when you just kind of try to jump into doing like these doors when I haven't even looked at them, it just gets to me. So this is the pattern that Steve did for me. It's a quarter pattern. So here's the scalloped edge, alright? It goes all the way around. It's really, really, really fascinating. I am looking forward to doing it. It's just that I have cold feet because I haven't done it at all. You know, so now I'm trying to get my mind wrapped around these doors. And I just want full concentration. This is like, well, the challenge of it, you know, to be able to jump from, say, the pigeonhole to the writing surface, to the upper case, to the pediment, onto these doors, you know, it's tough. I mean, it's like almost friggin' Thanksgiving, but I feel confident we'll get there. So with these doors, the first thing I need to do, like, I need to figure out where the rabbit's going to go on the back of the doors to put the glass in, or a panel or whatever, but I'm going with the glass, you know, the mirror. So we had to figure out where to run the rabbit, you know, and I have to figure out how to cut the rabbit, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to use a router. I mean, I'm pretty much dead set against routers. I don't like to use them at all. They bobble, whatever. I'm just not that good at using them. I've never had the experience of just running a router all the time. So, and I think it's quicker with the table saw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plunge cut, and I'm going to stop cut, probably with a 1/4 inch dado set, because the depth of the rabbit needs to be about 7/16 of an inch, and then on the front it gets that cool profile with all the carving on it. So the first thing I need to do is, like, step one, figure out where to put the rabbit. And then after I cut the rabbit, I need to double stick tape a piece of MDF inside where I just created the rabbit. You know what I mean? So then step two, I can transfer the pattern line all the way on the inside of the door. Take the door apart, cut it on the bandsaw, get it close, you know what I mean? And then I need to glue the whole door together before I even flush cut it. And once the door's together, I have to flush cut it with this 1/4 pattern, so I'm going to have to, like, flip the pattern 4 times, flush cut this thing, get it to where it needs to be, take the piece of MDF out of the rabbit, and get these doors over to Steve so he can kind of, he has to cut the profile. I don't have the profile bit here, it's a shaper bit. I don't have a shaper, you know, I've got a router. but I think Steve is retrofitting the cut ahead for me. So that's what I'm going to get to try to do. And you know what? I think I was prepared to do the lid, so now I just have to shake that off. And then tomorrow the hinges are going to come. So now I'm kind of stuck. I'm like, okay, am I going to just stick to doing the doors and then bounce back on the lid? The problem with the lid is that I don't like to leave it around too long because I want it to stay flat. And as soon as I can put the hinges on it and fit it and leave it and lock it, it's going to stay flat. Even though it's stood. Yeah, stood. It should. It should still stay flat. Alrighty, let me get my coffee for that one. Woo! It should still stay flat. Alright. Alright. The thing's going to stay flat because I resawed it, you know, way back in June when I put the writing surface in. So I'm confident that it's going to be alright. So I'm just trying to mentally get into doing these doors. So what I try to do is just try to think about it before I just jump into the room and start cutting stuff up. You know, I've made enough mistakes, you know. So I'm just going to think about it, and try to play it out in my head and, you know, mentally build this stuff. It's always helpful to draw stuff, you know, even if you just scribble it, you know. I mean, that's what I do. I scribble a lot, you know. And then just try to get the stuff mentally condensed in my head so I really have a firm approach. You know, it's like, see, I wrote down all the steps that I need to do, 1 through 6 or 7, I think. So that's it, fellas. But for the tip of the day, make sure when you order your hardware from wherever you order it from, that you're aware of if there's going to be like company markings on the face of hinges or locks or whatever, because it really makes for a drag when you get a friggin', you know, return weight. So if you've had the same problem, maybe you can write about it in the forum. We can all talk about it. See if there are different companies out there that, you know, more informative about markings on their hardware. You know what I mean? And I like to use Whitechapel. I like to use Optimum brasses. I like to use, you know, I've looked through Horton brasses. I haven't really seen any that I like too much. Ball and Ball is pretty good. There are only a select few group of people, companies that sell hardware that I choose to use. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm building a piece of furniture that's like $500,000, you know? So it's like, I want the locks to be the best locks that I can find. And I find that Whitechapel has some kick-ass locks. They're like 65 bucks a piece, you know? But I'm willing to pay for it. So, I don't know, maybe we can all, you know, you can write in, tell me where you get your brasses. Maybe there's a better company out there. I don't really know, you know? We'll see what we come up with. Alright, back to thinking about these doors. Alright guys, well, I finally get my head wrapped around the doors and I cut the pattern, okay? Now it's only a quarter pattern, so you can see that it's written down the rabbet, and this corner right here is where the rabbet is going to go, so it doesn't come all the way through. And it, you know, I have it marked 7/16 here and there, and I got all these little marks all over the place. So I just took the line off at the bandsaw, okay? And you can see how close I get to the line. I get pretty close. I try not to get super close, but I, you know, want to get as close as I can, so the handwork is a minimum. Can you guys hear that truck that's out there? Friggin' parked out in front of my place, just running the motor. Oh, it's a diesel motor too. But whatever. Frig. So I just take a chisel. A file. All right. I just got a regular old file. And I just want to kind of take this material off slowly. I don't want to be too aggressive, and I want to continually feel it with my fingers, you know, because I want to make sure that it's nice and straight. And you can get really close doing this, just feeling it, you know. It's important to feel this to make sure that there's no big bumps. Thank God the truck's leaving. And no major imperfections, because it'll really show when you go to take the when you go to flush cut this thing, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to go along. It'll take me quite a while to do this, you know. I don't like to rush this kind of thing, you know. So, and I don't have all that much to do, to be honest with you, maybe 40 minutes. So I'm just going to concentrate on doing this here, and then once I get ready to transfer these lines onto the door, I'll show you that. Okay? Kind of cool though. I'm excited about doing the doors now that I have the lid out of my head. Alright, well after I've shaped my quarter pattern, right? It's time to transfer the lines onto the door frame. But before I just transfer these lines on, I have to dry fit it. And what I did was I clamped it tight this way, you know, and then I clamped it that way. And these miters have a 45 in the corners. I'll show you in a second. So as long as like I can just dry fit this thing and leave it and let it be kind of like square, I'll be alright. You know, as long as the joints are tight, I should be fine. Because this door is still a little oversized, so I'm going to be able to fit it after I put it together. So before I decided to cut the rabbet, I wanted to just make sure I had the lines on the right side so I don't get confused when I go into the machine room. You know what I'm saying? So let me move in on this. This is going to be... Alright, now this is it, man. This is the door, okay? And the way that we made this pattern is that it's flush on the inside of it. I took a little bit off of here by accident, so I'm just going to make sure that the front of these scallops are just flush to the inside face of this thing. You know what I'm saying? And this one's going to keep it square. Now I'm not going to cut this, okay? I'm just going to mark it out so I can put the rabbet in the back of the other one. On the back of the side of this thing. Man, look at that. It's right on the corner. Steve's awesome, huh? That dude knows how to lay out some stuff. But that's it, guys. I should probably double check to make sure that this thing is what's good, I'll be able to double check this whole thing. So I can just draw the lines on it, go around and see how it makes out. I mean, that should be halfway. So I'm interested to see. And this point right here should be definitely halfway up the side here. Ah, broken pencil. I hate that. Alright, hang on. Hang on, everybody. Alright, you probably can't see it from where you are, but I can see it here. Man, that is like perfect. Perfecto. So, like I said, I'm just going to transfer these lines onto the door so I don't screw it up. And then after this, I'm just going to cut the little dado in the back. Okay? See if you can see that. You see the line? It just barely clips that corner. Now you see the mitered corner? Like that thing has to just be on the inside of the corner. So that's the scalloped edge. You can see how it landed perfectly on that point. I mean, that's a really nice pattern. And that's it. So, here's the handsome guy. I'm just going to transfer all those lines on the left and the right doors and then take the doors apart one by one and bring them into the machine room and cut the rabbet in the back that's going to receive the glass. Okay? So, this is pretty nerve-wracking, just to let you know. Alright guys, hopefully I won't mess it up.